Today, we're going to dive into the quiet, inner world captured in Iain S. Thomas's book, Every Word You Cannot Say. It's really a journey into those thoughts and feelings we all tend to keep locked away. You know, the ones that are always living just beneath the surface.
Right away, the book just hits on such a relatable feeling. I mean, have you ever felt that? Pulled in two completely opposite directions at the same time? Worried that you're feeling way too much, or maybe not nearly enough. It's that constant little hum of uncertainty that can live in the back of all of our minds.
And when we're dealing with all that internal noise, what's our default setting? It's usually this, right? I'm fine. Two simple words that we use like a shield. It's the easy answer, the one that basically says, please don't ask any follow-up questions.
But right behind that shield, there's always that little asterisk, a tiny footnote that holds the real truth. And this is what the book really gets into, that huge gap between what we say out loud and what we're actually feeling on the inside.
So this brings us to our first big idea, really exploring those words we can't seem to say, and it all starts with that deep, deep feeling of being totally and completely alone with your own thoughts.
And this is the feeling that sits right at the heart of that isolation. It's this powerful illusion that our inner world, all our secret worries, our private joys, is a place that nobody else could possibly understand. It's a silent weight that honestly, so many of us carry around.
But just as you're feeling that isolation, the author immediately starts to break down that wall. This next part is like a direct conversation, a way of reaching out and just saying, hey, I see you, I get it. It's like building a bridge from one person's inner world straight into another's.
And just notice how incredibly specific and personal that is. It's not some grand, sweeping statement. It's a tiny, intimate detail. It immediately makes you think of your own little scars and the stories they hold, and suddenly there's this powerful, unspoken connection. This image perfectly illustrates how those connections, even the ones that are super brief, can leave a real mark, you know? Just like ink soaking into paper, people we barely know can leave this lasting impression on us, a kind of stain on our hearts that we carry with us.
Now, this is a truth I think we all recognize deep down. The book doesn't try to sugarcoat the messy, beautiful paradox that the deepest love we feel can often be the source of our deepest pain. It's just a fundamental part of being human.
Okay, so after making it clear that we aren't alone in all these feelings, the book takes us somewhere a little more challenging. It takes us inside ourselves to meet the parts of us that are a little difficult.
And this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? When you're face to face with your own fear, your self-doubt, your anger, that inner monster, what are you supposed to do? Our first instinct is almost always to fight it or to run away from it.
But here's the twist. This isn't some external fight. We can't actually run because we are both the thing that's chasing and the thing being chased. The monster isn't something separate from us. It is us.
And so the solution it offers is, well, it's pretty radical, and it's deeply profound. Instead of fighting, you're supposed to stop, turn around, and embrace it. To offer compassion to the very parts of yourself that you're afraid of. The book suggests that healing really comes from acceptance, not from fighting.
So this single act of acceptance opens up a brand new path forward. This next part shifts the focus to empowerment, kind of giving us a guide for how to actually move toward healing and self-discovery.
Which brings us to the simplest, most direct question of all. How? After all this thinking and feeling, how do we actually put this self-compassion into practice and start to build the life we really want?
And the answers are so poetic, but also really actionable. Light all fires kind of feels like embracing your passions, right? Turn all keys means exploring every single opportunity, leaving no door unopened. And recycle your heart? Wow, that implies being brave enough to love again, even after you've been hurt.
And this is such a powerful reminder. You know, building a life that feels meaningful isn't always about big, loud, public gestures. So often it's a quiet, personal responsibility. Just making small choices day after day that line up with who you really want to be.
Let's start to wrap this up with the final section, which is just a set of simple, gentle reminders. You can think of it as a practical guide for just taking care of yourself day in and day out.
The concept itself is just so grounding. I mean, in a world full of complex problems and never-ending to-do lists, what if the most important checklist was simply about being human, about just tending to our most basic needs? Let's just pause on these for a second. Notice they have nothing to do with productivity or achievement. They're just simple acts of care. Telling people you love them, just getting out of bed, drinking water,
reading something that isn't on a screen. And maybe the most important one of all, remembering how important you are to yourself.
And that's really what this all builds to. Every small action, every quiet thought, every moment you choose to be compassionate with yourself. These are the words you are adding to your own unique story. You are the author, and that story is unfolding right now. The book leaves us with this one last question, and it's such a powerful call to be intentional and present in our own lives. It's a reminder that your life is a story that you are actively writing, moment by moment. So, what words will you add to it today?